Hey, it's Ansley. I'm in the Jermaine Robin tasting room, and I'm doing a second Mezcal here today. Right next to this toy model of a extinct gigantic sloth that used to be common in the United States about 15,000 years ago is this bottle of still proof Los Nahuales. The still proof came about, they wanted to do something to celebrate their own 20-year anniversary a couple of years ago, and so they released this still proof Tobala, which we got a little of. And it was so successful, plus, I mean, this is an astonishingly great package, right? That they released another one. And this one is 60% Espadín and 40% wild Jabali, which is the local name for an agave called agave convalis. And it's basic, it's small. Look, here's a picture of what it looks like out in the field. You can see it's basically pretty tiny, but there's a lot of it. It grows in rough ground. It likes hilly, rocky soil, high slopes and stuff like that, cliffs. So it's not easy to harvest, but there's a lot of it. But people, they basically use it for rope. It makes really good rope. But the reason they don't use a lot of it is it's incredibly hard to distill. What it tends to do is expand and foam inside the still and do weird things. And people have been known to throw whole batches of this stuff away because it was so hard that it didn't distill properly. And Los Nahuales had the intelligence. It's very intense and very acidic to sort of like blend it into some cultivated Espadín to sort of like tame it down a little bit. You always hear me talking about balance. I'm big on balance. You don't want to be putting something in your mouth that tastes all of one thing, right, and not of anything else. But you want to have a whole bunch of things that are sort of like equally present, integrated, complex. And what its reputation, which is this is living up to, it's flowery, it's lightly fruity, and acidic. Again, acidity is what makes these aromas and flavors very, very nicely distinct. I'm surprised at how sweet it is. There's no sugar in it. That's just fruit coming through in the distillation. And it hits a lot of different parts of your mouth. Very, very complex, beautifully balanced. And still proof means that they didn't bother. You know, most mezcals like this one here, what's it at? 46% alcohol. It came off the still probably about 54, 55 or even higher, and they diluted it with water to bring it down to what people like to drink it at, which is usually 46, 47%. But this one they left the way it came off the still, which is um, 53%, which is low for still proof. They obviously were careful about how they distilled it. So you get this nice, it's very pleasant alcoholic heat. It's not coarse, it's not rough. You know, you're not getting, rubbing alcohol smells. Actually, it smells very lightly alcoholic, but there's this very pleasant heat in your mouth. This is a very interesting product, and I'm just telling you there's not much of it.